coming to the lookalike audiences, we were saying that there is potential in using these because these are somewhat already qualified leads. They have engaged with posts, they've visited the website. Yeah, when wanting to create these, we see the great potential in it because we know that they are qualified prospects. They've shown interest in the product and they are on the verge of ready to convert to a sale for the customer. And yeah, using these tools at the bottom here, like this tool at the bottom, by creating a lookalike audience, we can create a 1%, which is almost identical to those sources, a 1 to 3%, which is a bit more niche, all the way up to 5 to 7%. And then once we combine those, we get a nice, more refined audience, which we can then use to direct our ads towards.
Just to give an example then, like of that would be, let's say for argument's sake, we get a doctor in Dubai, we get a new client on board and they want to run social media ads. They don't have any social presence whatsoever. Then it would just be a matter of, okay, cool, get yourself and your team and your 10 highly valued patients just to like the Facebook page. Let's say we end with let's say 200 likes, and then from there we can create a lookalike audience, and that will obviously then potentially qualify a greater spec of lookalike audiences. But it's interesting that you've dotted this down here, not just to do a single broad-based lookalike audience. So let's say for argument's sake, just taking a 1 to 3% audience and then increasing that in scale. But you're speaking about a combined multiple lookalike audiences. And the rationale, I believe, behind that would then be the 1% would be of higher quality lead, but maybe less volume.
Yeah.
The 5 to 7 will be higher volume. But you've also mentioned that it might be that between 1 to 3 and 3 to 5, there is some really good qualified anomalies of audience spec. And then combining all of those audiences together, then you get a pretty strong audience to start with from a boosting perspective. And not just like hitting in the dark, because I know sometimes we don't even do A/B testing. You know, our audiences generally is sometimes, especially in the past, like 4 years ago, it was like, okay, we're going to build an audience and we're going to stick to that audience for the next 2 years. Like everything changes.
Yeah, and I think like even what you were saying, where when we boost certain ads and we find anomalies like extremely high metrics coming back, that we can then use those and combine them with lookalike audiences to obviously create I assume like a super audience that will give you obviously extremely good results, because now you have qualified leads and you have these people who have shown like great interest in your brand at the same time. So those are the two types of people you definitely want to target.
I think it's our customers at the end, or our clients, our brands at the end of the day are looking for two things. They're looking for, don't show me dog food ads if I don't own a dog, you know, like that's the one thing. It speaks about speaking to the appropriate audience, but also there might be qualified potential customers or potential audiences out there, but they are not necessarily going to engage or view or share or be a brand lover. So for me, the ultimate audience would be an exceptionally well lookalike audience that speaks about the qualifiedness of audiences and not just shooting in the dark. That's on the one side. And on the other side, it is, we need to look for, like you mentioned, anomalies, retarget them or build them into a retargetable audience, and then combine that with our lookalike audience, our combined lookalike audience. So then you've got the qualified potential customers. You've also got the specs of like, okay, they actively engage in the brand. So we can do that with video views. We can do that with if there was a campaign and you know we saw there was 200x shares, you know, or there was comments like crazy in the comment section. But Facebook reads it or understands it as we need to firstly boost that piece of content before we can claim that as a combined lookalike spec. So we need to almost like first own the IP of that audience, and then we can create a lookalike of that specific engageable market, and then ultimately then combining it. It's all about like creating multiple audience groups or sects, whether it's lookalikes, whether it's retargeting, and then combining that into whatever we are looking for, the most potential highest quality audiences.
Definitely.